A poor girl is standing outside. Inside the house, a rich girl keeps bread and juice on the table and goes away. The poor girl looks around, then runs inside, eats the bread, and drinks the juice. Suddenly, the rich girl comes back and says, "Who are you and what are you doing here?" The poor girl says, "I'm sorry, I was very hungry, I'm leaving now," but the rich girl angrily grabs her hand at that moment. The rich girl's fiancé comes and asks what is happening. The rich girl says, "She touched my food with her dirty hands." The poor girl says sorry again and tries to leave. But the fiancé stops her and says, "We need a maid in this house. Let her stay." The rich girl says, "So now we will bring street girls into our house." But the fiancé insists, and finally the poor girl becomes their maid. After some days, someone knocks at the door. The poor girl opens it and sees her ex-boyfriend. She gets shocked, drops the box in her hands, and quickly runs upstairs. The fiancé sees her running and follows her. He asks, "What happened? Why are you so scared?" She says nothing and starts crying. He says, "You are safe here. We don't care about your past. That we will support you later." She is fixing the bed in the rich girl's room when the fiancé comes and asks for help. He says he cannot fix his tie. She fixes his tie and tells him to look in the mirror. He smiles and says it looks different. She says, "You are very nice, and your fiancé is very lucky to have you." He says, "My love for her is slowly disappearing. When I talk to you, I feel better and peaceful." The next day, in the kitchen, they are drinking tea and eating cake together and laughing. Then the rich girl comes, takes money from her boyfriend, and leaves without noticing them. Another day, the fiancé talks to the maid and says, "Your eyes attract me. Every night I see you in my dreams. I feel like I can't live without you." He moves closer to her, but the rich girl suddenly calls the maid, and she leaves quickly. Later, the rich girl warns the poor girl and says, "This is not a love story or a fairy tale. You should know your limits and what is best for you." The poor girl feels hurt and decides to leave the house quietly. The fiancé stops her and says, "Please don't go. I will even cancel my wedding for you. I can't lose you." She looks at him and says, "Fairy tales don't exist," and then she leaves. On the wedding day, the poor girl comes hiding her face and sits quietly on a chair. Her ex-boyfriend sees her and comes near her and forces her. She says, "Leave me, I don't want to stay with you." The groom hears this and pushes him away and says, "Leave her now or I will call the police." Then the groom looks at the poor girl and says, "I will marry you." The rich girl is shocked and asks what is going on. He says, "Sorry. I chose the wrong person before, but now I know who my true love is." He leaves the rich girl and chooses the poor girl as his partner. Did the boy do the right thing or the wrong thing? Write your opinion in the comments and share the video to support us.